Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Sage with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning and happy Tuesday to you. What a crazy time to be in the digital asset space. A lot of interesting videos out on crypto, Twitter. Freaking, who was it? Steph Curry is getting into crypto. BC backer said something crazy like that was going to happen, did he not? The preeminent XRP trader for the XRP community. Interesting stuff. All these videos that are coming out. And shout out again to DAI for taking this time, energy, and resources to put these videos out. It's been really interesting to see this coming out of Joe Lubin and Gary Gensler. And one thing I definitely agree with DAI about is what the freak, Gary Gensler, which one do you want? What is it going to be? Which one are you saying is the deal in reference to Penman in the speech about security, right? You know, Gary Gensler got, dude, you got to get it together, my friend, because you're just you keep putting your foot in your mouth for sure. I'm going to share some videos with you guys. Most of this video is going to be sharing videos, but I do think it is important to just kind of expose the truth. And like I've said before, this is not going to go away. This whole Ethereum getting the free pass, Clayton pivoting to things start out as security and they can change. All of the madness it's going to get exposed for what it truly is, and it without question was a pass for Ethereum, right? Bitcoin didn't really need a pass. Why? Because who are you gonna call to the carpet? who are you gonna reach out to, right? So, but in any case, between John Deaton, attorney Jeremy Hogan, and these videos from the DAI, it just looks really bad. And like I said before, once it becomes a slam dunk, no brainer, someone from Congress will call someone in and right, you got some explaining to do type deal. I feel like that is definitely around the corner because just like Rosalind Layton said, the SEC did not see this uprising coming, and it's not going to go away. It's going to be really interesting to see the major CNBC, MSNBC, CNN, and the likes, if they will pick this up. It will be very interesting to see if they will do that. To me, it's very obvious to me that the greatest threat to the old guard in terms of financial system was Ripple and its digital asset XRP. To me, in my humble opinion. All right, guys, so listen, enough of my rambling. This is your XRP daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. So let's look at the market. It's down to 2.31 trillion, and the total market cap down 4.6%. Bitcoin was over 52,000 just a few hours ago. It is now at 49,347. On the 24-hour, it's down 4.7%. Ethereum's at $3,594. Whoa. The Cardano's at $2.51. Binance Coin's $440, and XRP is $1.21. It was $1.30 something cents, and it's down 11% on the 24-hour. I wonder if BC Backer, because I know BC Backer had mentioned, this whole thing with the Bitcoin deal, and Michael Saylor coming out and talking about El Salvador is going to make Bitcoin the legal tender on the 8th of September. And he said, BC Backer said, you could be careful. Be careful, because it could dump in the same way that the thing happened with XRP when everybody got together and tried to buy XRP and people front run and then they dump, right? So we'll see. 4.7% on Bitcoin in 24 hours. Cardano's down 12%, like a lot of double-digit downs in 24 hours. XRP 11%, Binance Coin 11.5% down, Cardano 12.3% down. Solana is not having any of it. Is up 14% on the 24 hours, 50% on the 7-day. Dogecoin double figure down 13%. Polkadot double figure down 13% on 24 hours. So you see what I'm saying? Chainlink down 16% on the 24 hour as well. My Bitcoin Cash was at $770 something just a few hours ago. Now it's at $705. Uniswap's $25. So, you know, Litecoin's $193. Terra Luna down double figures as well, at 15%, at $27. I gotta look into Solana and see what's going on there. I bought Solana 2 or 3 weeks ago only to participate in the ecosystem, not for asset appreciation. Polygon's at $1.40, and Avalanche. Interesting news coming out of Avalanche and Wand Chain. I think I'll share that with you guys as well. Stellar Luna's at 35 cents. Look at all the double figure downs. Filecoin's down 23% on 24 at ICP, 20%. Polygon's down 14%. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. These are a lot of double figures down on the 24 hours. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what's going to happen with Bitcoin, most importantly, because it still does lead the market right now, even though a lot of people are talking about vector space and talking about quant. I get it. I get it. But boy, oh boy, there's some interesting stuff. I'm gonna have to look on the top 50 and see if there's something that I can get on the cheap. But guys, look, I'm going to share some stuff from Twitter. It's going to be a lot of videos. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to note. First one is from Stefan W. Huber. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for taking your time, energy, and resources to share with the community. This is a clip that we've all heard before, I'm sure, from Gary Gensler, but I think it's important to note, look, Gary, when Bill Hinman came in to the SEC versus Ripple and he signed that thing and said that this was his opinion. SEC had him come in and say that Hinman's speech was his deal. It was not of the SEC, right? Listen to this video. It's going to be very, very interesting. Found another bombshell from Gary Gensler in his reading on a public policy. Most of the crypto space consists of Bitcoin, ETH, and RIF, about 3/4 of the whole market. Bitcoin and Ethereum has already been classified by the SEC as a commodity and not a security. Now, again, if that was the case, been clear about it, right? If you're stating that the SEC did this, why are you having Bill Hinman, allowing Bill Hinman to come in and sign this deposition or make this statement that it was just his personal opinion? It wasn't the opinion of the SEC. You can't have it both ways.
Ether's about the world of crypto finance. You've seen this slide before, but it's been quite volatile. About 220 billion in the last few days. And a little over 50%, 54% is Bitcoin and the other big currencies right now on market value, Ethereum, Ripple, and the like. We'll talk a lot about initial coin offerings and are they securities, are they not? But I would note, in terms of market value, probably 3/4 of this space has already been determined by the Securities and Exchange Commission not to be a security. Bitcoin's 54%. Ether's about, 15 points or something like that. So you're all of a sudden up to about 70 points. And then
the SEC has already determined that Bitcoin and Ethereum, the SEC has determined that. He didn't say, according to the Hinman speech, he didn't say that. He said the SEC has already determined that Bitcoin, Ethereum, 3/4 of the market, are not securities. And the reality is you can't have it both ways. And I think this is so apropos about Gary Gensler. Obviously, this is from Squawk. Now, this was changed. They edited this, right? Let's be clear. When we say investor protection, it's simply double speak. We are here to ensure the SEC and our boss, the Federal Reserve, maintains their absolute control over the privately owned and controlled global monetary system. Obviously, that was edited. He didn't say that, so someone edited, but that does speak to the heart of the matter, ultimately, I believe. So here it is from, this is a very, very interesting tweet. The plan was to get Ethereum through the door, then slam it on the rest of the crypto if it walks like a duck. Listen, this is a very, very, I remember this with Gary Gensler and what's his name? Tim Draper. But just look at this video.
You mentioned Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs can do?
Right. And again, the biggest threat to the likes, in my humble opinion, what is he saying right there? To Tim Draper, billionaire in the inside, right? Insider, 1% or 1%. He's saying, what is JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs going to have to do to pivot, to do something, to not lose the market share to this new decentralized, or to this new asset class that is the digital asset space, right? Who is their greatest threat? To JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, right? Which digital asset provides the greatest threat to those banks? Think about that.
So in addition to the Howey test, they have this new construct that they're seeing certain things in. So they consider the Bitcoin network and token and issuance mechanisms. They consider the Ethereum network token and issuance mechanisms to be decentralized, and therefore no transactions involving those particular assets are considered to be transactions of securities. They have not said the same thing about other tokens, the Ripple token, for instance, and they were clear that they were going to come out with statements to sort of assess these different tokens, and I believe they've made all the statements about decentralization that they're going to make. And so Bill Hinman, Director of Corporate Finance, has been very clear.
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now. Don't forget the ties. Do not forget the ties between Gary Gensler and Jerry Clayton to Goldman Sachs. Clayton with his wife, Goldman himself. Don't forget those ties. Look, the things we see on movies a lot of times, right? There's forget the saying, but where do you think they get the ideas for these crazy movies of these, these strings being pulled and people being incentivized to look out, right? If you get former JP Morgan and or Goldman Sachs people now in positions to regulate an industry, right? Do you see what I'm saying? And that it's so freaking obvious. It's so out there, so blatant. It's so blatant, and that's why we have to get the likes of CNN, the CNBC, and MSNBC to pay attention to this, to start shedding a light on this. Why hasn't anything come out? Why hasn't any of it come out? Why, when you have Gary Gensler on it, these questions aren't asked? No one's asking him. Why, when Hinman comes on, not asking? Clayton's taking all these crypto positions now. Like, what in the wide world, right? And I said this about Gensler, and I'll say it about Clayton as well. They put them where they need them. And why do you think Tim Draper is saying the banks must be, shaking in their boots right now? He knows he's going to lay out to you exactly what the likes of Morgan, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs do.
Now. And then they all line up and they wrap their arms together and they say, we're not letting this happen. And then it keeps going. And then they say, okay, well, let's sue them. Or let's go get the government. The press planning.
Let's sue them or let's go get the government. What exactly has happened? What exactly has happened? Again, who is JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and the likes of these big banks? Who is the number one threat? It's not just crypto, but in crypto, who is the number one threat? You got to think about that.
They plant the press stories, they put out lawsuits, they create as much of a fuss as possible, they try to get their government friends involved, and then they go, oh God, this thing's happening.
Gotta love that. Absolutely gotta love it. That, my friends, to me is just, it's the biggest. It's so obvious. It's in your face. And again, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think they're gonna let this go. I really don't. I do think that the independent researchers are not going to let this go. I know it's that I forget that group that is looking into him, and so the more that we continue to shed light with videos and John Deaton, this is going to get exposed for the travesty that it is that a United States regulatory body did some shady crap. It's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. I'm going to share some other videos with you guys later. But I do think this is important from Ryan Selkis. I'm going to end the video with this because he's speaking the truth, right? No one wants to say the real truth. Anyone who invested $10,000 in the Ethereum Crowdsale and held now has a net worth that exceeds Gary Gensler's 120 plus million. The 18, 20-year-old that maybe borrowed some cash from their parents, 25-year-old took a shot, maybe took a loan out against their, second mortgage against their home. Now, do you think there were a lot of people who did that? I think there were tons of people who did that. Mike Novogratz was one of them, but he was already fairly well off. But what about the other people? Think that sits well with them? Because remember when the average Joe and Jane has hundreds of millions of dollars, they don't need JP Morgan and his services. They don't need Goldman Sachs and their services. JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs need them. What's his name? Adam Smashinsky talks about that all the time, how the likes of Goldman's and JP Morgan are constantly at his door trying to win his business. Because he has hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Do you see what I'm saying? Anyone who invested 10,000 Ethereum Crowdsale and held now has a net worth that exceeds $120 million. Why does he want to protect you from crypto so badly? It's a great question. Great question. Shout out to Ryan Selkis. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to end this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sideline? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya.